Yes, people, you're locked into the Powerful Breakfast Show. Are you ready to be edutained?
Powers, a young bar. It's myself, 100 Eyes, and we are live on the Powerful Breakfast Show. And I am here with my special guest, taking the initiative party.
Hey.
Hey. How you lot doing, man?
Powers.
TTIP, hashtag one voice. Yeah? That's your hashtag, yeah?
Yeah.
I am here with the wonderful Andrew Morris, co-founder of the TTIP.
Yeah.
I'm also here with Angela Kayla, a candidate for South Norwood.
That's right.
And I'm also here with Miss Farrah London.
Hey.
Candidate to become the Mayor of London. Croydon. Sorry, Mayor of Croydon. Yes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So guys, how was your journey here?
Journey was uneventful, you know. Quick tube ride, you know. It's no drama. It was okay.
Everyone got on tube, yeah?
No, I actually drove.
Oh.
So my journey was nice, you know. Played my tunes on the way here and it's all good.
By the way, they got a Bentley outside, guys. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I wish.
I know how you lot roll. So, Mr. Morris.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me, man. Tell us where you from, where you grew up, and what inspired you. And is it Charles Gordon?
Charles Gordon, yeah.
To start taking the initiative party.
So I'm from Brixton. I grew up on Angeltown.
Hands of Brixton.
Yeah. You know, you can take the boy out of Brixton, but you can't take Brixton out of the boy, as they say. So I grew up on Angeltown. A long time ago. I was walking through Angeltown about 2 years ago, and I remember one guy said to me, "You're old school Angeltown, innit?"
Yeah. So he recognised you.
Yeah. But we were having conversations, Charles and I, separate conversations with people, and we started to realise that people felt politically homeless, and so we went on this journey of, you know, a voyage of discovery, if you like. And just started to cobble this thing together a few years ago. In fact, 6 years ago we started.
Where did you meet Charles, if you don't mind me asking?
I've known Charles for too long. I've known Charles for nearly, I think, about 26, 27 years, something like that.
Wow. That's my lifetime.
My grade. But yeah, no, we've known each other for a hot minute. We worked on a few things in the past, some kind of charitable projects and some youth stuff.
Okay.
And now in older age, you know, we're seeing some deficiencies in our communities, you know, politically. So we wanted to just try and start filling those voids. So hence TTIP.
Sorry, I'm going to get to you, Angela. Why did it take so long for a black party to come out, do you think?
Do you know what? I think there's no one answer to that, but what I would say to that is that for a long time, I think that we've been convinced that politics isn't for us. You know, we've been following this two-party system, Labour or Conservative, and sheepishly and slavishly we've all been voting because our parents or their parents and their parents before them voted a particular way.
But then you know better.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. And the other thing, you know, I would say is that it took us about a year to register, because the thing is, you can't just set up a political party. I mean, maybe you can, but there are regulatory procedures that you have to follow.
Did you always want to be a politician?
No. Do you know, I don't see myself as a politician.
How do you see yourself?
I see myself as a concerned community person. I wouldn't even say community leader, because no one elects community leaders. And I haven't been elected to any office to represent anybody. I just hear lots of people talk to me about lots of things, and I try to articulate as best I can.
So we got 11 days to go, right?
Yep, 11 days. Yep.
Miss Kayla, talk to them. Where are you from, and how did you get yourself involved with the Taking Initiative Party?
So I actually grew up in Catford, or Lewisham Borough, and moved to South Norwood in 2007.
Okay.
So I've been there for a hot minute.
That's your home now, right?
Yeah. So I got involved. Obviously, I've known Charles for many years as well, and he was like, last year, he was like, do you want to run as a candidate? And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, as a mother of two, seeing the area going downhill and seeing that we don't really have any real representation or any real change, for me, I was only too happy to run. to be able to have an impact on our community in a positive way. So that's what, hence I'm here again this year. So that's my perspective.
Oh, nice. Everyone knows Charles then for a long time.
Yeah,
Hey?
he's a popular guy.
He's a popular guy. Where is he?
He's around.
All right, let's just get straight into it, man. Why should the people of Croydon vote for you lot? Why should they? Why?
Well, I would say people should vote for us because, as Andy mentioned already, the two-party system just does not work for us. In terms of, like, I can talk about South Norwood, which is where I'm running. The majority of South Norwood is of ethnic minority backgrounds, and we're not properly represented. We're consistently having cuts, for our youth as well. Crimes are going up, stabbings are going up. So for us, we want to put these things right. We want to bring back resources. Even the library. I mean, they've gone from 3 days to 2 days a week from full time from last year. So all of these things need to be put right.
In your opinion, why are the stabbings going up? Why do you think?
I think it's not a one-fold answer. I think there's a few different
there's
angles.
layers upon layers.
Yeah, there's layers to it.
Well, let's get down to the root of it.
The root of it, I guess, starts from home. Also, resources being cut. So, like, obviously, when we were growing up, we always had somewhere to go, youth clubs and all that kind of stuff. But now there's nothing for them to do. There's nothing for them to kind of tap into to realise their passions and their talents and their purpose. And again, there's also a lot of, because of the cuts, a lot of families are struggling, and we have a lot of low-income families in Croydon. South Norwood and in Croydon as well. So, I think those are a few of the points I think that do contribute to it.
Okay. 6 months ago, you had your first local councillors training, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Would you care to tell us a bit about what happened that day?
Yeah, you know what? So we've got members who are themselves ex-councillors who believe in what we're doing. They've subscribed to our mission statement. So what we did is we had a few people come together, write some modules so that people could have some formalised training to show them what it entails to be a local councillor, because a lot of people don't understand what it takes to be a councillor.
Yeah.
And that kind of feeds into that narrative of us being convinced that politics isn't for us, that it's for an elite set of people who will make decisions on our behalf. And one of the things Charles often says, and I love this, is that if you're not sat at the table, then you must be on the menu. And we're kind of this school. We're in this place of, look, you can't be on the menu anymore.
Yeah, man. You ain't lunch, you ain't dinner neither. No, you're right. It's time for us to step up as people and do what needs to be done. Yeah. Because having your hand out all day ain't really getting us fed, You got to take control, you got to do the hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you lot are doing right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So on the 5th of May, what do you expect the results to be?
Do you know what? I would say we've been out canvassing a lot.
I've seen
we've been putting a lot of hours in, speaking to people.
Last weekend you was at Croydon.
Yeah, in the town centre.
Right?
Yeah. Doing some outreach there. There was a big group of us. Yeah. The last few days we've been in South Norwood from like morning till late in the evening, knocking people's doors. And the general consensus is everyone is definitely fed up of the two-party system. Yep. They're ready for change. Excuse me.
We've been ready for change, though.
We have been
for a long time now.
But although we've been ready for change, we haven't had the option of someone plausible to vote for. So now that we're in place, they're only too happy to give us their vote because they want to see that change so desperately, and they know they're not going to get it from those other two parties. So everyone that we speak to, the majority are happy to vote for us. Yeah. So I'm quietly confident.
Yeah. So if you are elected to be a candidate for South Norwood, what would you do straight away? What would be your first policy you would enforce? Or
I'm hoping that obviously, I'm speaking it into existence, that Farah is also going to be elected as our mayor, because obviously as a local councillor our powers are limited, so I don't get access to the funding. Obviously we can vote on local issues on behalf of South Norwood, and we're basically the bridge between the community and the council. So if people in the local community have particular issues, I can go and take it up within the council building. But obviously with Farah coming on board, she will have the council budget to be able to distribute the funding where it needs to go, because I see so many grassroots organisations working, doing great things with our youth, you know, with our vulnerable, but they're not being funded. So to me, that's all wrong. So I would like to see that all obviously change and see people's lives drastically improve.
And you know what? Sorry, even before all of that, we've done so much before the election, because we during lockdown we had a food aid scheme that was running, delivering food to people, the most vulnerable.
Actually, I saw that.
You know, we had surgeries going on. We still got surgeries going on, so people come and see us with issues.
Yeah.
That we
Miss
try.
Farah London was doing that, wasn't
Yes.
it? At one point,
Yeah.
You really are 100 eyes, aren't you? See everything.
Yeah, man. I have to do my research before I get in here. Come on, makes sense. On your website, you said you want to give free broadband for all.
Yeah.
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 A reduction in council tax as well.
Yeah.
Safer streets.
Yeah.
Free computer literacy training.
Yeah.
City status for Croydon.
Yeah. Why not?
Croydon's a big borough. It can actually.
It is a big borough. I mean, I won't take away, Farah's funder, because she's got a lot to say about that, because that's her baby in that sense. But we're very close to. I don't even want to go there because I'm taking away the funder, but Gatwick and stuff. So there's opportunities. That's all I'll say. I'll leave the rest for Farah to deal with. But Croydon can be. It does. We've been saying all along, Croydon deserves better, and we genuinely believe that it deserves better.
Yeah.
For me, in the last 10 years, I got to hear Croydon. I feel like that's Croydon's more come up. Am I right or wrong? But you lot have lived it for years, so you've seen it. But for me, I was introduced to Croydon 10 years ago,
yeah,
and I didn't know Croydon was that extravagant, to be fair. There was a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on, a lot of little areas connecting to...
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? It can be so much better. It really can. When I was growing up as a kid in Brixton, I didn't really go to Croydon. The only thing I did was I went to a place called Water Palace, which was just off of Purley Way. It was a big leisure centre. It was, flumes and rides and all that kind of stuff, which was a really big deal back in the kind of late 80s, early 90s. I really am that old, but anyway. And I saw Croydon as a bit of a bougie place. Now, unfortunately, it's not on anybody's list.
You're right, to be fair. It was considered country.
Yeah.
It was. Now it's city based completely.
Now it's considered a bit of a dump.
Yeah.
Outside the town centre a little bit. If I'm being honest, because when I drive into Croydon sometimes, I'm like, damn, am I really in Croydon?
South of Croydon is obviously a bit nicer. That's kind of like, I guess, would be considered country. But the north of Croydon has really been neglected, and that's
what areas in north of Croydon?
So South Norwood obviously is north of Croydon. Yeah. So South North, Thornton Heath.
That area.
Basically, most of the areas that have the ethnic minority in them, they kind of have run them down.
Thornton Heath,
yeah. But then you've got Labour. That's obviously now the council is under investigation for fraud. There's £73 million of our money that is unaccounted for. So in my opinion, it's going into some people's pockets over there. So
it must be.
Someone's doing all right, that's for sure.
Okay. Do you lot consider yourself fit to lead Croydon?
Yeah.
Can't do any worse.
Definitely.
What's been done already.
Do you know what? I think those that are sometimes, I mean this in the sense that let me just say it. So those that are closest to the problem are closest to the solution. And for me, that is all about, if you're living it, you know it.
Yeah.
And we're living there. We're knowing people that are growing up and experiencing difficult. I mean, we're speaking to people, for example. I mean, Farah will tell you about the guys that are living in tents in the subway. Now, at one point during lockdown, we were able to find accommodation, as far as I know, for everybody.
Yeah.
But yet there are now people sleeping on the streets and basically turning a subway into their lounge, their living room.
I see a picture. I think it was with Farah London.
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay.
Again, doing wonderful stuff. I was doing wonderful stuff that no one really sees in that sense, because we don't need to do everything to be seen. We're just doing stuff because it's the human thing to do.
And also who you're representing. You're representing a certain culture of people, and I feel like the people that you're trying to represent have been abused for a long time. So to earn their trust is double work, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. It is difficult. I mean, a lot of people are coming with us. They really are, but I think there's a bit of a way. We've got 11 days to just go out there now and just really smash it, just get indoors. Yesterday, for example, we were out and it was heartbreaking, some of the stories that we were hearing. It was really heartbreaking.
You had to tell one?
Yeah, so I spoke to one lady on a street, and she was telling me that her daughter doesn't like to come to Croydon because her boyfriend was killed and died in her arms.
It was trauma.
Yeah, it was really traumatic to hear that yesterday. I thanked her for sharing that with us. But it's this kind of stuff. There was another lady that was saying that her son was on his way home and was mugged for chicken and chips. Come on, what's that all about?
Wow.
Really? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just like, wow. But, like Angela was saying about, starting at home with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I think that when you have, because we're not so naive as to say that youth centres and things that solve all the problems, they don't.
Yeah, they can't.
But if you're a mum or a dad or, a family home and you've got 15, 16-year-olds that are out at 10 o'clock at night and you don't know where they are, then probably there's something that needs to be addressed there.
Yeah, that's parenting issues though.
Yeah.
That's before we go anywhere.
Yeah.
They've got to take care of home. There's a saying, do not sweep another man's house while yours is dirty.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like a lot of parents got to take that on board first. We can't just keep relying on outside sources to solve our problems.
No,
I heard an Albanian man, he said, what was it? Your pot is in the oven while the rabbit's in the mountains.
So say that again, please.
Your pot is in the oven while the rabbit is in the mountain. And it took me a while to get my head around that. But I get the drive behind that, and that's the thing with some of our communities. We're suffering because joining up the thinking is really difficult.
So 11 days to go. So what are you not going to be doing, man? What's the plan for the next 11 days?
Well, campaigning. Like after we leave here today, we're going to keep on door knocking.
Oh, nice.
We've been hitting some churches. We're going to be hitting the schools as well, and talking to the parents there as well. So just catching as many people as we can, and touching them as much as possible, because we can do it. We can get the changes made. We just need everyone to jump on board and support. And we've been led to believe that no other party can come in, but that's just the narrative they want to push and want us to believe. But actually, we have the power, and it's all in the vote. So, people just need to remember, vote TTIP.
Yeah. Are any of you religious, by any chance?
I wouldn't say religious. I'd say spiritual.
Yeah.
What spirits?
The good ones.
TTIP ones.
Well, because I believe religion does affect a lot in politics. For example, if you're an atheist, you might not see certain crimes as bad as certain other crimes.
What do you mean, like teething out the money? So I know which religion that Labour Party follow in Croydon.
So none of you are religious?
I wouldn't say I'm religious at all.
I think
Farah London, you religious, Farah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what religion are you?
Christian.
Oh, you go to church weekly?
I do.
Oh, nice.
I do.
You don't see a lot of that no more. People going to church on a regular basis. It's like it's come down a lot, to be fair. I think because there's a lot of different religions and a lot of options.
I think over lockdown as well, isn't it?
I'd say that's what fuels me, though.
Like the religion,
having
your
that
faith
as my anchor.
Oh. So what are you saying about lockdown?
No, I said I think through lockdown, because obviously people couldn't go to church. I know a lot of them moved to online as well. So like my children's aunt, she's very religious and was going to church regularly as a Christian, and their church moved to online, so they do like their online Zooms.
Or even now? Or they back
they were doing it up until even after churches opened. Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit crazy still. So TTIP, I want to talk to you about education, because I'm going to talk about my experience. Yeah, I was a youth. I grew up in East London. I went to a Roman Catholic school. I was a very bright lad.
Yeah.
I got 10 A to C's.
Nice.
But when I left school, I can't say those A to C's did much for me, to be fair, because I come into the reality of the world and I saw a lot of issues. For example, I wasn't getting hired.
Yeah.
I was through my 10 A to C's. I wasn't getting hired, so I was frustrated, and I felt schools missed out fundamental teaching.
Definitely.
For example, law.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. We live by the law every day, but we're not taught it in school. I find that flabbergasting, to be fair, because that's a bit crazy.
I was going to say even things like your credit rating, how to get a mortgage,
finance,
you know,
finance. What's the tip part you're going to do towards that? Are they going to change the curriculum, some sort? Can they do that?
Do you know what? I think it would be.
Or is that when you're in
the
government fully?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a journey, isn't it? I mean, I think we've got to start with Croydon. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah.
You know, none of us want to do that. We just want to take baby steps. But yeah, I mean, do you know what? I grew up in a time when there was a thing called a National Record of Achievement. It was like a maroon folder with a gold lettering, and I was told that you need this. You know, you're gonna have it for the rest of your life. I haven't used that thing since.
No, I've never used it.
Do you know? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like Pythagoras theorem.
Yeah.
Come on, you know.
I used that since I left school myself. So yeah.
But you know what? There's so much we can do, but it really starts. It starts with Farah. It starts with Angela. It starts with all of the candidates that are running that have come out. You know, the Catalea Gibbses of the world. One of the candidates, and Francesca Dill, and all the people. I can't even name them all, but it starts with all of them and getting them elected into seats so that they can start articulating what we're trying to do, which is all on our website. You know, it's all there.
How easy is it to become a councillor?
Well,
because on your website you can apply through.
You can apply, you can apply via our website to become a councillor.
Can I be a councillor?
100%. You could, 100%. I mean, officially to become a councillor, you need 10 nomination signatures from 10 different people within your ward, and they sign that, and that gets submitted in, and then you're officially a candidate. Obviously, as we are at the moment. So
is that easy?
It is that easy.
It is that easy.
Yeah, and most people wouldn't know unless they look into it.
What? No qualifications needed?
No. You know what? Again, this comes back to the whole, you know, Labour and Conservative and the others convincing us that politics isn't for us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's individual policy, and our policy is that we're up for giving people second chances.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself to be independent?
Yeah, we are. We are an independent political party.
100%. Yeah.
You fund it as well, don't you? You're
so co-funder. I'm not a co-funder.
Co-founder.
That's co-funder.
I wish I was a co-funder, but no. Our membership does all of that. Mm-hmm. You know, we started from literally 50, 60 people, and we're in the kind of low thousands at the moment. So about a couple of thousand members. That join. Some of them don't even come out and help us, but they're happy to contribute.
Yeah,
by putting
every little helps.
Yeah,
you lot had was it an awards ceremony?
Pride of Croydon Awards. Yes, we did.
Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago?
9th of April. Yeah.
Yeah. How did it go?
It was fantastic. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Many awards got won.
Yeah.
There
do you know
was
what?
I think 15, 16 awards. Yeah, got given out that night. So.
I didn't get invited.
Oh no!
I just saw the pictures.
Oh man! Don't worry, we're going to get you in next year. We're going to get you in next year. There's always so many people to remember. It's like, have I invited this one? It's like,
it looked like a great event. To be fair, it looked clean. Everyone looked sharp.
You
looked stunning.
Thank you very
so
much.
did you. The green dress. I saw it. Mr. Morris, you look sharp. I must say.
We have to do our bit, but no, it was nice to actually celebrate the people that are, as I said, doing things in the community to help people, or even local businesses. Sometimes we need to give people that recognition to let them know that they are appreciated, and obviously to keep continuing their great work. So it was great, and everyone seemed to have a great time. You saw from the pictures anyway. Everyone was looking fantastic. So
like I want to ride.
It was a good time. Next year you're going to have to come along. You're going to have to come next year for sure.
Yeah, I will, man. I will.
You got the first invite.
Yeah.
Everyone heard that. You heard that first, right? Hey, I will pull this tape back up.
I heard it.
It's all good.
What's your thoughts on Mr. Boris Johnson?
Oh wow,
the guy that can't even comb his hair.
Let's just get into it. I
can't even get into that one.
As I said, for me, I just don't agree with either of the parties out there, which is why I joined Taking the Initiative. But Boris, I mean, it's a lot of hypocrisy, I think, because it's like say one thing but do another.
I can't believe he's gotten away with so much. To be fair, like, how can someone lie so much? And
it's so blatant now.
Like, it's ridiculous. This is crazy. If this was anywhere else, a little resignation would have been done already, long time ago. Why is he holding out so long? What is it? From a political point of view, you probably got a better understanding than me.
I have
in the
to
situation.
defer to my learned colleague.
Disclaimers, yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it just has become so blatant now. Like even within local politics, within Croydon, like I mentioned earlier, the bankruptcy, the funds going missing. It's like it's become the norm for people to a lot of people just kind of laid back and kind of almost accepting it, and that's why it's like, well, no, we need to stand up, we need to stand strong together, and basically just fight against it because it's not acceptable.
Sorry, was the tip party born during lockdown or was it before that?
No, it was before that.
Because there's a narrative that
do you know what? There's a lot of narratives that peddle, but no, we were formed. So the idea came about in 2016. We were registered with the Electoral Commission by 2017.
Yeah.
And in the last couple of years, people have started to hear about us.
Yeah.
But lots of people have peddled some narratives that are just not true.
No.
And it's really important that people don't allow themselves to be sucked into that void of just hearing something and taking it as gospel.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem. That's the problem with today's culture.
That's the media for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But anyone doing anything positive,
why Johnson's getting away with it so much.
Yeah.
It just hit me. His sister runs the media, but she's highly involved, right?
Oh, yeah, that would make sense then.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I have no opinion.
Oh, you're a smart man.
I've got all the opinions.
A wise man knows nothing still.
If Angela wants my opinion, she'll give it to me.
How did you meet Angela, by the way? Sorry.
Through Charles.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So Charles, the main link, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Tell me a bit about yourself, Miss Farrah London.
What would you like to know?
Where you from? Where did you
born
grow up?
Born and bred Croydon girl.
Yeah?
Yeah, South Norwood. Well, born in Mayday Hospital, obviously.
I'm sounding shocked like I didn't read that up already.
Went to South Norwood Primary School.
Oh, wow.
Which was great. My father, he moved to the UK around 73 years ago.
Oh, okay. From?
Pakistan.
Oh.
And he's amazing, and I think my parents have made me who I am. Yes. My dad was always entrepreneur, but when he moved, he struggled. He used to have 2 jobs to support his family. So he had he was an engineer, and he did his daytime job, and then he would walk to Battersea every day back and forth because he couldn't afford the bus fare.
Salute to
boxing, and it just it just shows the power of parents and passion and doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
And then he got his first entrepreneur idea, and he set up a shop. He opened a shop on South Norwood High Street called Farrah Fabrics after me.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it still there?
No. Oh. My dad's 92 now.
No, the shop, sorry.
No, the shop, no. It's there, but it's something else now.
Oh, okay.
Something else now. But we used to live on top of a shop. And then, we lived in South Norwood forever. And then my dad then got a second shop in Thornton Heath. It was quite well known, Pretty Things.
Oh. A
lot of people shopped there. Actually, I took my dad to a care home last Saturday. And there were some of his customers there, and they're like, "Oh, we remember you." It was adorable.
That's
but
nice.
Who am I? I am the product of my parents.
Your dad's a grafter, then, yeah.
Yeah, and my mum. I get that heart of a lion for my mum. She's a tough woman.
Hey, to be fair, Asian women do run their household very strongly.
She definitely does.
No playing games out here. So you are going for the mayor of Croydon role?
I am.
What does the mayor of Croydon do?
Well, it's the first elected mayor. So it's the first time ever that Croydon will decide who their mayor is. So it's not a pompous role wearing a gold chain, because I'm not into any of that. And it's a real role with real responsibility.
Okay.
Because you will not only manage the full budget, but you'll be responsible for the full council, all the departments, and making sure the council's actually doing its job.
Oh, I think I've got to move the studio to Croydon if you become mayor. I heard budgets.
Welcome. Yeah. It's opening up. Opening up.
Oh, well, I wish you well, and I hope it does go well for you as well, to be fair. And that's 11 days.
11 days. countdown.
Your sleeps must be getting worse and worse every day.
I sleep peacefully.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I sleep peacefully.
That's very good.
Yeah, that's because of God.
You're a very religious person, you were saying.
Yeah, I just have a beautiful love of faith and God in my heart, and I think that really instills everything I'm about, and that's why I actually stepped into politics to bring humanity back, because that's what's missing.
Yeah.
So it's time for change.
Time for change.
It's time the people are put first.
# one voice. Are you that one voice?
I'm part of a movement of what we're doing. It's not about one voice, it's about all of us, you know, and we all need to connect together to bring that change. I can't bring change by myself, so it's about us.
I believe in one order, to be fair. I think one order is the way forward. Everyone thinking alike, everyone moving alike. I think we'll all get on better.
Yeah.
Well, everyone always thinks differently.
Yep.
So we've got to embrace that, and we've actually got to let people be who they want to be and empower them to what they want to be.
I overstand that, to be fair. Yeah, but certain people thinking are a bit crazy, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, that's why it's important to educate.
Education is key, but when we're talking about education, what type of education are we talking about?
Well, something you were talking about earlier, the problem in schools, yes, is a curriculum, because kids aren't being taught the right things to survive in life, the right tools.
They're not.
And something that I want to make sure is our children not only have counsellors from primary school all the way through to college, because it's not a teacher's job, or they don't have the qualifications to recognise when a child needs that support, additional support. But I want to make sure that our youth are empowered to set up their own businesses, know how to set up a business, and actually help them with the tools that they need. So we need to have a more proactive approach to education in schools and how it's being done. And
also be aware of the times we're in, because knowledge is coming from every corner of the world.
Absolutely.
And if you've not taken into account of that, I think you're going to trip up along the way.
So the things are changing, the dynamics have changed. We're obviously now social.
Yes.
We're online, and you know, like I'm doing an Insta Live now, and you know, who knows, people are probably watching from the world. But the point is, we now have the world at our fingertips through our phones. So this is a great way to really teach our youth on how they can use that to their advantage. And actually what I want to do is bring people out of poverty.
Yeah.
It's about empowerment. Croydon has been so badly neglected because of political gain, and we have been led by a two-party system who ultimately they're in cahoots with each other to keep each other in power, because they don't want us to grow. So that's why it's time to bring that change.
Sorry, can we go back a second? When you say they, who are we referring to?
The two political party system.
And when you say us, who are you referring to as well?
The people.
Okay. Just make that clear. Make that clear.
Yeah.
So all people.
Yes, the people.
Okay.
You've got the people, and then you have political parties, the powers, the two, who have ultimate control of our lives, of everything. And when people say to you, I don't want to talk about politics, well, everything that you do is governed by politics. So it's hard to avoid it, because you even going to a shop to buying that bread and that milk, that price is governed by politics.
Facts.
That car you're driving is governed by politics.
100.
So everything that you're doing, every step that you're taking, that cycling, everything, it's all governed by politics. Everything has a political agenda, and that's where there is no humanity anymore.
So well done for stepping up to the plate then. Well done. We need more people to do that, to be fair. I wish I could do it one day.
You can. You just have to be dedicated.
One day.
Well, to be honest with you, you have an incredible platform. Look at you, you're running this incredible show, incredible radios, and you have people at your fingertips. They're listening. So you actually have a voice of influence, a voice of power, but you decide how you choose to use that.
You're right. You're right.
For good or for evil.
But for you, same as you, to be fair. I want to get into your manifesto.
Let's talk. I'm proud about my manifesto because I wrote it myself.
You wrote it, yeah?
I wrote it myself. And it was, I would say it's years of, you know, my own experience, my own learning, entrepreneurship, but then also volunteering in the communities for over 20 years at the grassroots has really given me an understanding of what changes we need to do. And if you read my manifesto, it's actually common sense.
Yeah.
But it's common sense that will change the narrative, and it's common sense that governments could be doing.
Yeah.
There's nothing difficult about my manifesto, but why are we not doing it? Because, like I told you, they don't want us to progress. My manifesto is about.
Sorry to cut you. So they don't want the people to progress.
Yes.
Is it all people?
It's ultimate control. If you put people in debt, and you put them dependent, then you have more control over them because they're depending on you.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't believe in it. I believe that we can actually empower each other, and like I said, take people out of poverty. Let's talk about crime. Crime's out of control, but so's poverty. They go hand in hand. So if you lift people up out of poverty, you're actually going to then see a reduction in crime.
I agree with you.
Common sense.
That is basic, to be fair. Where's that powers, Jim?
I want to change the way things are done. At the moment, the way Croydon Council, and most councils, to be honest with you, they earn money from taxing people. So your council tax, your road, this tax, that tax, everything. That's their model for earning money. But I want to change it. I actually want us to not depend on handouts and actually build up Croydon with investment and opportunity. So then we treat it like a business. It has to earn money to spend money.
I like that. That's basic thinking, isn't it? Really?
Basic thinking. And with the policies I plan to bring, for example, let's talk about indoor farming. I know you love a bit of agriculture.
I love it.
Exactly. You've got your own greenhouse thing going.
That's
so you've obviously heard of indoor farming.
Yes.
So it's a Dutch model. It started in Amsterdam, and they've done it probably a few years ago. But now they've turned it to €1 billion market, and they are the largest fresh produce exporter for the whole of Europe and the whole of the UK. Vertical farming, organic, it's clean, and bringing it to Croydon.
Oh, you're bringing it to Croydon.
Absolutely. I want us to have the centre hub for organic vertical farming. So can you imagine the billions we can generate to just put back into Croydon? That's just one thing. Earlier Andy was talking about Gatwick. It's not stealing my thunder, it's our thunder. We're in this together. But Croydon, it's so close to Gatwick. Trains 15 minutes. So why are we not focusing on business tourism? I plan to open the first international convention centre, exhibition centre in Croydon, which will host international trade delegations, exhibitions from all over the world. Open 5-star hotels, so we can actually create jobs, create opportunities, and actually bring investment in again. Business tourism. These are again common sense ideas.
You want a second referendum to rejoin the EU?
I'm going to be honest with you. It's been done, and I don't feel the government has any intention to do a second referendum. They tend to say these things when it's time for election, and then it just goes quiet again. And it's election time, so. But
would you raise it up again?
I think it's definitely something that we've seen has crippled our economy. There was obviously loads of problems as well, where we're being dictated to by the European Union. I don't like how it's made our European Union friends and families feel like we don't want them because we need them. If anything, look at the hospitality market. It's finished because we can't have the staff. So they have caused a big dent in our economy, so they do need to rethink what's happened. But in the meantime, we need to be connecting with our other partners, our Commonwealth countries. Why are we not focusing on the Commonwealth? They are such a natural partner, and that's why I plan to bring something called City to City, which will be working with Commonwealth cities across the world and putting a business tunnel between Croydon and those Commonwealth cities, because I really want us to really drive business.
You also want to set up a race offenders list?
No. I want to do something for hate crime.
Okay, what's that?
Hate crime is anything where...
No, so what do you want to do for hate crime?
Well, I feel it has got out of control. If you look at the Sikh community, it has gone up by over 80% of hate crime against the Sikh community. And so there's many different...
Why?
Exactly, why?
Well, because they think they're Muslims?
Yes,
Oh
probably.
my Lord.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man.
And this is what I mean. It's religious intolerance, and I don't have time for that. We need to let people be who they are.
Yeah.
So if you are doing hate against anyone, whether they're gay, whether they're black, whatever they are, we cannot accept that. It's not acceptable. No one should suffer any sort of hate.
Yeah. Yeah. I got something to say on that, but I'm gonna let it go because it is what it is. Reparations. You lot want to get reparations?
Yeah, I mean, we had a conversation.
Sorry, if you do get the reparations, how would you distribute the funding, and where would it go to?
Oh wow, that's that's a really big, loaded question. I think the thing with reparations is that we know that from slave trade, that those debts and things weren't paid off until about, I think, 7 years ago, and people who were involved in slave trade have benefited financially. The only people that haven't benefited is people that suffered under slavery. So it was a conversation that was had. I mean, that is probably a conversation much further down the line when the party gets a bit more bigger.
I think we can't wait for that handout, man. I think we better just get started now and start working on our own stuff.
Yeah, I think
that's not going to happen. I don't think.
One of the things I think we've been talking about, and it's not necessarily policy or anything like that yet, but is just that people, working class people, so this isn't unique to necessarily black people, it's for all people at the lower end of society spectrums, would be taken out of tax altogether. As a way of saying, right, okay, well, here's your reparation, because at the moment people are being taxed, and the cost of living continues to go up, but it never keeps pace. So one never keeps pace with the other.
So you're saying everyone at the lower end will get reparations? Everyone? I
mean,
so this is a classism. It's gone to classism then. It takes away from the reparations aspect if it's giving it to everyone.
Yeah, you see, the problem is we have to balance the fact that, okay, yes, we're a black-led political party, but we're not exclusively black. We've got white members, we've got Asian members, we've got mixed race members.
It's about inclusivity, and I think everything you have to understand, a political party evolves. Yeah. So if you look at the Lib Dems, Conservative and Labour, they used to put gay people in jail. Yeah, they had an act and they were signed, and it was illegal to be gay and you would go to jail. So it's about evolving. So whereas it may have started something, but we are there for the working class, for all people, and that's a really important message.
There was a story I was told, and I wasn't actually there for this story, but one of the things that I loved about this was somebody said, when you grew up on an estate and your white mate had a problem, you didn't not support him because he was white, because you all came from the estate. It didn't matter that you came from a black background or a mixed race background or African, whatever. It didn't matter. We just kind of did things as people, and that's what TTIP is trying to do.
When was that though?
Well, for me, I mean,
like I said, knowledge has come all over the world now, and everyone's upgrading. Everyone's upgrading their thought process. So 20 years ago, if my white mate had a problem, to today, I'll look at it differently. I'll be like, should I get involved or should I not? To be fair, because I overstand a lot of other situations. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's a difficult one for you lot, to be fair.
It is a difficult one.
It is.
I think we probably just got to literally focus on the basics at the moment. And some of those things really is getting Farah into the mayoralty, getting Angela into her seat, and all the candidates, like I said before, and then dealing with some of the issues that are more pressing.
My studio in Croydon as well.
Yeah.
Stop and search. Yeah. You want to give fines to officers?
That's not something I agree with.
No.
You're talking about the party manifesto, not the Croydon manifesto. So if you want to talk about Croydon, two different manifestos. Croydon manifesto is what I wrote. This is more of a party thing.
Sorry, because that's what I was on the.
No. There's a Croydon. It's actually should be on the website as well. There's a Croydon manifesto.
Okay.
So I want to focus on that because we're talking about the elections in Croydon.
Yes. Okay. Oh, you got serious there.
Absolutely.
So. That stop and search is out the window, right?
It's
stop and search
and give fines to the police.
I'll tell you something.
Yes.
One of the kids, Jermaine, I got lost his life last year.
Yeah.
His parents, Jamaican background, lovely family. And what they said to the police, you need to do more stop and search. You need to do more, because how could our kid get stabbed? You're not doing enough. Now, I went with the Violent Crime Task Force to see what's going on. And yes, black kids are being targeted. Unfortunately, all the deaths have been black kids within Croydon, so that's why they've been doing it. However, the way they're doing it is wrong, and they need to have proper training, because those officers are not receiving the right training, and that's a fact. And they need to work with community leaders. So what I would prefer to see is actually have a patrol from the local community, where we have our own leaders, our own people on the streets, because we know our kids, we know our people, where we can actually then put that barrier, mend it. Because you've got the police coming in and just obviously stopping and searching, just looking for knives. They've just got one target: find a knife, because obviously every knife that's taken off the street saves a life. Yeah. But what I feel, it needs to be community driven, and that's why we need to have a patrol coming from the community, and I think that will be more effective. The worst times, I do a lot with anti-knife crime across London, the worst time is from after school to that window 7. That's when we're seeing the stabbings. So we need to make sure we have our patrols on those streets, knowing what's going on. They obviously know who is vulnerable, they know who are in the gangs, they know who are selling the drugs. And this is about youth empowerment. You're talking about earlier, what we need to do. We need to be giving our children opportunities. Everything's been stripped away from them. So those are intelligent kids. They have bright minds, and it's about switching the product. It's about showing them. They're told in school that their life is worthless and they can't achieve anything and they'll never be anything. That's the narrative they're told by their teachers. So what do you think? Obviously, they're going to feel that they are worth nothing. For a child to take another child's life, they must feel their life is worthless. So this is our duty to make sure we provide them with the opportunities that they need and empower them, whether they want to get into business, whether I want to open Amplified, and Amplified is going to be free from 6 up until 21, and that's going to be a place for performing arts, music, art, dance, filmmaking, radio, but also apprenticeships, whether it's into trade, construction, engineering, electrical. I want to make sure they have mentors, so we can really actually empower them. It's just simple. And I tell you something, I want them to be the all-stars representing Croydon across the world, because I believe in each and every one of them.
I agree with you as well on that, to be fair. But there's definitely a underhand that we keep missing. We can give the youth all the education you can give them, but there's definitely something else missing. And I do.
It's that attention. There's role models.
Yes.
They don't even have the role models. We need to have the right mentors coming forward and being the role models. I mentor youth, and I've seen them change their lives. I've mentored youth who are in gangs, who do drugs and sell drugs, and now they're in university. They've opened up businesses. They're thriving because I took the time to invest in them. When someone invests in you and tells you you're worth it, that changes the narrative. That's what we need.
Okay, so attention.
Yes.
But the way the system's set up, it's hard.
But that's the thing. We need the right leadership that actually instills that in us. We're only as good as our leaders. Yeah. And if our leaders are failing us, of course, we feel powerless.
You're strong as the weakest link, isn't it?
Yeah, we feel powerless. But if we have the right leadership that actually is empowering and instilling that in us to be more, to succeed, then obviously we're going to want to rise up and be what we can be. But right now, we're being put into more debt. We're put into more poverty. We have a council that doesn't even respond to calls. So, for example, if someone's got mould, if someone's door's broken, eventually they'll get to them. Look at Regina Road. I mean, there's people living in such extreme poverty in Croydon, across London. It's sickening. It's sickening. And you look at them spending millions on these cycle lanes. Well, there's a crisis happening. So it's about having the right leadership, and that leadership to recognise where that money should be going.
It's a balance, isn't it? Because cycle lanes are needed, But I do get what you're saying when you put in priorities. It's not really a top priority. But cycling...
I mean, in London, in Zone 1, it works great and stuff. But when you're looking on the outer skirts of the M25, how many times is it actually being used?
Yeah, you're right.
So then to actually put millions and millions into the LTNs and blocking off roads, even the ANPR cameras... Yeah. They're a money-making scheme, and they've been put in such a way that people don't know, and they've raised 20 million from them.
Yeah, they hit me once or twice, actually.
Exactly. And imagine hitting someone that can't afford to pay it.
Yeah.
It's not fair. You don't rob from people.
Where's Robin Hood when we need him?
I'm in green.
So you want more police on the streets?
Yes.
Yeah?
We need...
Can I ask you a question, please, though?
Yeah.
It's all good getting police on the streets, but I feel the police got to be... I don't want to say from our type of background, but when you got a police coming from Surrey into Croydon who lacks the understanding...
And that's where I said
that's a big issue.
That's where I said they're lacking the training. And I know the police are doing a big drive where they're trying to obviously recruit more ethnic minorities. That is a priority now for them. But we need to have a visible presence. But the police have to work with the community. It's not going to work any other way. They cannot do it by themselves. It has to be community-led, community-driven. And that's why... like the specials, the officers who are from the community. And again, the patrol system I want to set up is, again, the community leading that drive and leading the way that it's led. Even just things like petty theft, cars into homes, that's on such a crazy rise because by the time police will get to you is in about 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's so easy for criminals to offend. It's just too easy now. And that's why where we need to see police presence with things like that, more cameras, more lighting, so criminals actually know they're not going to get away with it. But at the moment, it's easy.
It's crazy, man. Because for me as a person, why I changed was knowledge. I feel it depends on the knowledge we're giving the youth. Like I said, you can keep them in school for 11 years and be feeding them this and that every year, revising the same stuff, but end of the day, if none of that stuff applies to them in real life, it's pointless. So I feel the education system definitely needs a revamp. 100%, 150%.
Absolutely. 100%. It's outdated.
It's
outdated. It probably made sense some time ago, but now with the times that we have, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it don't make sense at all. When I first heard of the Taking Initiative Party, I heard it during lockdown, during the Black Lives Matter movement. Are you lot associated with Black Lives Matter by any chance?
No, not at all.
No?
I have no idea where that come from.
I'll tell you where it come from, for me, because it was Sasha Johnson.
Okay. See, now, there's a common misconception. See, Sasha Johnson wasn't really associated with Black Lives Matter. She set up... No. So BLM obviously is Black Lives Matter, but for her, she set up something called Black Lives Movement, which was also associated with something called the Million People Movement, which sprung out of the Million People March that she led in 2020. But no, the TTIP has never been...
And Sasha's not a founder or anything to do with TTIP, so it's like two separate things.
Oh, because when I type in TTIP...
I know, and that's the media. That's the media.
But... Does she not represent your party then?
No. So for a while she was a member of the executive committee. Obviously, now she's she's recovering from what's happened to her. We wish her well, and her family. But she's not a founder. I don't know where that came from. There's two founders.
It's
myself
media, isn't it?
Yeah. But
see, media spin things how they want to.
Oh, so she's not a founder at all. She's just
she's not a founder.
A person that was just campaigning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So. She got shot.
Yeah,
it's a dangerous game. Politics. Then, if someone's getting shot.
See, but I don't. Yes, it is. But it has nothing to do with that is what's happened to her is really unfortunate, but it's got nothing to do with the politics in that sense. I mean, I don't know the circumstances. I know I was supposed to be at that party personally, and I didn't go because I was really tired that particular weekend. You know, we love Sasha dearly, and I had a family asking me about her just the other day. Actually, I was with Farah while we were campaigning, so people do care, but there are narratives being spun about Sasha that are just not true.
It's maybe because it's not getting cleared up.
Well, that is.
If you allow people to talk, they will talk, man.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? It's not really a matter for us. It's not a matter for the party to do that. You know, we've been really respectful of the family's wishes around Sasha and her recovery and stuff like that. So this is why we haven't got involved in any of that stuff, because it's not for us to be a spokesperson on behalf of her. Even though I work really closely with Sasha. In fact, for probably about 16 months up until the unfortunate incident, I probably spent every day with her bar 3 or 4 days at some point.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that it's like a diversion?
Well, what I know...
Because when I do type in taking initiative party, she does come up first.
Yeah, no, you know what?
But this is what you were talking about earlier. It's about media and media spinning the story that they want to spin, and that's it. Media put out the headlines, they put out what they want, and then you can't get them to take it back. If anything, you know, there's so much that they have spun, and if you read it, it's all the same. So someone's done a press release between them and they've just spun the whole same story.
We had Wikipedia, they listed some stuff, and we went to them. We were trying to correct it, and they were telling us, you know, no, she's the co-founder. We're like, no, she's not. You know, why are you telling us what we know not to be? You know, it's not the case. But you know, it's one of those things. We've had to focus on the election and trying to do what we're trying to do. So some of that stuff we have to leave to one side. You have to choose your battles, really.
Okay. Guys,
trust me, we need a whole show for that.
I think so. It's been a lovely interview, guys.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
So where do you see taking initiative in 5 years' time?
You're founder.
Taking over the world.
Yeah, well, look, baby steps, but you know what? Only takes a grain of sand, innit? We'd take the mayoralty, we'd get some councillors, you know, next step, I think a parliamentary candidate. Definitely. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of elections that will come up. There'll be by-elections between now and the next main election. There'll be police and crime commissioners outside of London. You know, we're registered in England and Wales. So, Mr.
Morris, you stepped down from a candidate.
I did.
Can you explain why you did that?
Yeah, because I've been promoted in my job. So I'm politically... restricted in what I can do. So right now I have to just focus on the role that I'm playing in my job, but supporting candidates from the sidelines, which is probably the best thing to do, really, with the experience that I've got.
So you've been promoted,
yeah? Yeah. It's only a temporary promotion, but it's a promotion nonetheless.
So that cap on the politician pay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wish somebody would uncap my pay.
Alright, guys, thank you very much for coming down. Where can we find you guys, and where can they get more information about the Taking Initiative Party?
So you can go on our website, www.ttip.org.uk, and you can follow our Instagram at Taking the Initiative Party.
So what is the website? Say again for me, please.
www.ttip.org.uk.
It's ttip.org.uk. Yeah. So you can find out every single bit of information about Taking the Initiative Party on that website, right?
Everything's on there. Manifestos are on there. You can sign up to become a member. You can donate.
It's too late to register to vote, though, isn't it?
Too late to register to vote, yeah. But people that are registered to vote within the Croydon borough can vote for Farah. People in South Nord can vote for me. We've got candidates in 8 wards in Croydon. So remember to vote on May the 5th.
Yeah. Cool. And if you want to come out, help us canvass and leaflet, then do that. Get in contact, 0208 698 7000. And yeah, we many hands make light work, as they say.
Many hands make light work indeed. Would you like to drop your Instagram, Mr. Morris?
My Instagram?
Yeah.
Is Anne's of Brixton.
Okay. Miss Farah London?
Miss Farah London, that's it. Easy peasy.
And Miss Angela Kayla?
So mine is Angela Kayla, TTIP.
Oh, you're mad.
Are you mad?
That was Taking Initiative Part, people. It's been a lovely episode, man. I wish you lot the best, and I wish you the best for the 5th of May as well.
Vote for change.
Thank you.
People,
Thank you so much.
You have a bliss day, yeah?
You too.
You take care.
Bless up.
Powers.